You know, I remember one time they pulled the car in front of a bus in the middle of the street to paint the bus. The Suntran bus stopped so they could paint the side of the bus. So like very, very Wild West in a sense.
We used to go pick him up at the fucking sheriff's office all the time. There's so many times I've seen Gary walk out of the sheriff's office and we're like, welcome home, homie, even though he's only been in there 8 hours.
To most people, graffiti is a crime. It's vandalism, it's property damage, it's done at night, it's done fast, it's temporary and illegal, right? Wrong. Not here. Not in Tucson. We invite the noise, the color, and the chaos, and we hand it a microphone. So why? Why does Tucson celebrate something the rest of the country still considers a crime? Welcome back to another episode of the Tucson Tour. I am your host, Keeley, the Tattooed Tucson Realtor, and today we're digging into that question and the story it uncovers. Tucson has always been a little bit different than other cities.
Tucson in of itself is kind of an individual little town in Arizona. There's a tenacity here from being a little town. This is a good community, dude. Everybody here, especially now with these dudes who like the peace, they're all cool, man. It's all love. Like there's no fucking beef. We're just here to fucking make art. And graph is art.
I got a lot of love for everybody in the community out here in Tucson. I think there's just a stunning amount of talent in this town in graffiti art, and it does my heart good because I was part of the genesis of that back in the 90s.
I know people hate it. I know people, especially when your shit gets tagged on, that's a total fucking drag. I've had my shit tagged on. I've had businesses I worked in tagged on. But at the same point, as much as I get frustrated about it, I still have to recognize the game because that's part of the game. That's graffiti, it's getting your name up. And what better way to get your name up and your moniker up bigger and faster than with spray paint, you know? My name is Jerry Wagner Jr. and I am originally from Nogales, Arizona.
My name is Joshua Bashad, but I go by Demo, APTK. I'm from Tucson, Arizona, born and raised.
My name is Coda. I'm from Tucson, Arizona, and we're doing the Rock the Spot mural.
I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh, yeah.
Everybody's really excited to be able to paint in the heart of Tucson, paint their best work, and to feel the community and feel united.
This is Rock the Spot, a 3-day street art festival where dozens of artists from across the country come in and take over. Today, I want to understand how something like this happens in Tucson and what it means to the artists and the community when it does.
So when we started in the 90s, all our materials came from the hardware store, and it was made for industrial purposes. It wasn't made for art purposes, so you had to retrofit it to work your way, you know, and the caps you would use to control the width of the spray and stuff, we used to have to steal them off a bug and tar remover for windshields. We stole them off of tester model paint caps. We stole them off of Krylon workable fixative.
These are street artists who paint trains or paint illegally or paint in these sort of abandoned areas, these areas that people would normally see.
So Thursday night we had Coda come down here and a couple other guys who can work sprayers, and they just primed everything. You know, they laid all the background color, all your gradations of shade.
We put in some work to get access to these walls. We did it in honor of our friend Albert Soto, who was a graffiti artist advocate. He was a grants writer, older than us, and when we were kids, he saw something in us. He saw something in the kids. And so his goal was to get us walls and to get us paint and to help give us kids a place to paint without getting in trouble, without going to jail, without being harassed by police.
It definitely drew me in as a younger person, the element of risk and the element of illegality of it, the rebellious kind of sort of that thing. I mean, you know, people that age often kind of are drawn to things like that.
He passed away many years ago, and I was like, we should do a mural festival for him. And I was like, nah, we should do a graffiti festival. You know, he supported graffiti artists, and from that moment, it just snowballed.
Friday we came down and started blocking in all the heavy color and all the big parts of color. You know, let's do background, let's do all the big giant shading pieces, not the little tiny details.
We have plenty of time if we get all the major elements laid out by the end of tonight.
And then it rained. The paint doesn't adhere to the wall as well. It just affects the way the paint works. So then we just sat under an awning for hours until it stopped raining.
We lost some time for the rain delay and stuff like that. Not as much got done as I would have liked. I actually think it's probably more dangerous now, and because there's a lot less anonymity in the world. You know, there's so many more closed circuit cameras and cell phones and surveillance that's just, I mean, it's really hard to get away from, especially in an urban environment. Graffiti writers today that do the illegal stuff probably face way more challenges than we did back in the 90s, because we got away with a lot of shit back then, you know.
The plan is, the way things kind of lay right now, we're gonna bang the rest of the pieces in. There's only gonna be 4 total letter pieces. So all the big elements will be in, and then once the sun goes down, we'll do the dome. We'll put the dome on the projector so we don't have to go underneath any of the big elements. You have another day and a half to add details.
But Rock the Spot is more than just murals.
I think with Tucson in a lot of places, art gets gentrified, right? So you have a voice, and some of these artists are on the streets. But once you put it under that lens of gentrification and you throw it into a WeWork office or some shit like that, I think it loses its punch, you know? When you live inside of a society and a culture where no one knows who you are, which is where graffiti started, and they're seeing all these famous people get accolades and get recognition for nothing. And so you're thinking, well, if I get my name up on every train in New York on the East Coast, people know who I am. I think in all these people, there's a need to be seen. And that need's not being fulfilled, so you have to retrofit that need and work it any way you can.
Every mural here is temporary.
It's like those sand mandalas. Once it's done, it's gone.
But what Rock the Spot is about fundamentally goes deeper than the paint on these walls.
Something like this, I mean, it definitely fosters a more community environment. First of all, it's a legal kind of thing. You know, it's legal, it's all above board. Yes, there's still an element of competition and topping each other and topping oneself even. But I think in an environment like this, it brings the community together a little bit.
People are so interested in seeing art being created because they're watching an expression of one person kind of pushing their brain out onto a wall, you know, and I think that's really important just culturally to watch other people make art. So I think people seeing that, it inspires them, it makes them feel good. You know, it's entertaining, it's totally entertaining.
It's like, who would have thought that I'd be out here at 49 painting with the same people I was painting with when I was 16, 17. I would have never in a million years be able to think that and have these memories and have these experiences again. It's amazing.
This is Tucson. Rock the Spot isn't just paint on walls. It's proof that this city backs its culture, its rebels, and its roots.
Come buy a t-shirt with some hip hop shit on it. Come down, check out some live art in downtown Tucson. Just watch the Rock the Spot Instagram because this is gonna happen again next year. And next year we'll learn from what we messed up this year, we'll learn from it next year, so it'll be even better. Every year it'll get better, every year we do it.
So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say, yeah, I'ma do shit my way. I'ma go kick rocks, I'ma stack